This is Car Guys Talk with Andrew and Tavarish.
Hey everyone, how are you? That took all the energy out of me.
I shouldn't have been wearing my headphones for that because now I cannot hear.
Okay, well, I hope you guys are having a great day.
What?
I'm having a really good day.
Huh?
Andrew can't hear, which is okay because I have a lot to say in this episode. And Andrew, you're just gonna nod and point and do whatever you need to do. That's right. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Okay. My name is Freddie Hernandez. You may know me as Tavarish if you're on the internet looking for Lamborghini projects that are never really finished. Across the table from me is my friend, my partner in crime, Mr. Andrew Howell.
Yep, here I am.
How you doing?
Rock you like a hurricane.
Rock you like a hurricane.
Yep.
Were you listening to that in the car on the ride over here?
Nope.
Okay.
That song, that's my mantra.
That's your mantra?
That is my mantra.
Is that your theme song?
Yeah, ever since 1992 when I hit Miami.
When you hit Miami? Mm-hmm.
That's a Hurricane Andrew joke. What's up, guys?
Oh, okay. All right. So Andrew the Hurricane Howell. There we go. This is Car Guys Talk, and we talk about cars and car culture and all that sort of stuff. And today, Andrew has let me know that he has something to say.
I do, yeah. I need to know why you think front-wheel drive is, as you say, for the birds. Mm-hmm. And I also need to know, like, when are we going to get you into the hot hatch world?
Okay, so I think that is as good a time as any to transition to a new segment that I want to try called You're Wrong.
Okay.
And it's basically you have a point of view.
Okay.
And I am the devil's advocate, and I go against that point of view.
So maybe not all the time you're actually against.
No. I might agree with you. So here's what we can do. We can argue this point, and then we can come to an agreement, and then kind of here's what we really think type thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's your stance on stance?
Oh, nope.
What's your stance, bro? What is your view on front wheel drive cars?
That they're fun and that they're awesome and that they are totally capable of performing well in everyday driving situations.
So front wheel drive, is it fun? Is it inherently fun, or can you make it fun? Is it fun in spite of its shortcomings, or because of certain characteristics of front wheel drive-ness?
I would say both.
Okay.
Both in spite of and due to the shortcomings.
That makes no sense.
Okay, that's fine.
It's because this, and also not because this. Okay, so when you have a Ford Focus ST, for those of you who don't know in the audience, and that car is actually it's one of the better front wheel drive cars out there. Mm-hmm. And you also had a Mini Cooper, which is also one of the better front wheel drive cars out there.
Yep.
However, here's my stance. Here's why you're wrong. Those cars that you have owned or currently own, they are not representative of what front wheel drive is. The reason why front wheel drive is not as good as all wheel drive or rear wheel drive, nothing's really as good as rear wheel drive. The reason why is because the front wheels just are doing way too much. You're taxing them with actually, you have to get traction, and then you have to do the turning, which scrubs off a lot of speed, and also that there introduces heat and a lot of understeer.
They also have to hold up the front of the car. Let's not add that to.
They also have to hold up the front of the car.
Yep.
The tires have to, the air has to stay in the tires. It's a lot of stuff, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. It is nuts.
Yep.
But in all honesty, no, the front wheel drive, like the front wheel drive system, has to do a lot. Most of them are open differential, which means that the tire that has the least amount of traction gets the most power, and you'll have a one tire fire if you're trying to do a burnout or you're trying to go around a corner or something. You're gonna have a loss of traction, and you're gonna have understeer. You're gonna go straight into a tree, and you're not gonna have a good time.
That happens a lot with rear wheel drive cars as well.
No, it doesn't, because that would be that would be oversteer that happens in rear-wheel drive cars.
You still end up around a tree at the end of.
You don't end up around a tree. You end up around a tree backwards, and that's a little bit different. Because so the joke is oversteer is when the passenger is scared. Understeer is when the driver is scared. Okay, understeer is when you try to When you try to turn the car and nothing happens and it keeps on going straight. If you turn the car and it turns a little bit more, and then you can modulate the throttle and sort of get a little drift going if you know what you're doing, and if you don't own a like Ford Mustang or something, then then you can initiate something interesting. You can do, you can make lemonade out of the lemons you were given.
Sure.
But with front wheel drive, you're not given lemons. You're given like thumbtacks, or like you're given Legos that a floor made of Legos. That's basically what it is.
It's a terrible analogy. This is the worst analogy possible.
It is not a good analogy. But
No.
but a front wheel drive car is a floor made of Legos. Change my mind. No, I just, here's the thing. I just don't get it. I don't understand what the I don't understand why front wheel drive is as popular as it is, because in all honesty, it's just an economic measure. It's the reason why front wheel drive cars are a thing is just packaging.
Sure.
It was just because, it costs more to do a rear wheel drive. You have a rear subframe, you have to have a drive shaft, a differential, 2 axles, that sort of thing. And you can have everything in one compact package. And now that's why that's why cars have front wheel drive, and also you have like more luggage space in the back and whatnot, and probably better gas mileage. But as far as driving feel, they're not the best. They're not like good.
So I'm gonna disagree with you. Okay, with a rear wheel drive car,
right?
You can get a rear wheel drive car that is not performance oriented and it drives like crap. Correct?
It's very rare, but yes. What rear wheel drive car?
Lincoln Town Car.
Lincoln Town Car,
/ Crown Vic.
But you can do like slight modifications that will make that car way more fun.
Sure, you can do that to a front wheel drive car as well.
But you'd have to do like major modifications. You'd have to do like differential. You have to do like a transmission with a different differential, and you'll have to do like traction bars, and you'll have to do
do the Crown Vics and Lincoln Town Cars have limited slip diffs?
Yeah, they do actually.
Do they really?
Yeah, they do.
Dang it! I'm losing.
Here's your hot tip for today. Buy a Lincoln Town Car.
If you're looking for the ultimate track car,
buy a Crown Vic. Like it's good. It's good. You can do. Actually, I'm not sure. I think some of them had limited slips. Some of them didn't. But
even a lot of muscle cars from back in the day didn't have limited slips. They had open diffs.
Yeah.
Or like live rear axles.
Well, yeah. Well, live rear axles. That was the thing on Mustangs for until 2014, 15 or something. Yeah. But
what, leaf springs?
Well, so the Corvette has like sort of leaf springs.
Yeah,
but
you know what else had leaf springs? Roman chariots.
Roman chariots. Mm-hmm. Also the same amount of horsepower. Okay. Well, anyway. But
I thought I was the one that's supposed to hate Corvettes.
Oh, I don't hate Corvettes. Just they're not Lamborghinis.
Oh man, you have really changed over the course of this podcast.
I have ascended. Sir.
I have.
No, nothing against Corvettes. I like Corvettes. So
they're just not Lamborghinis.
They're just not Lamborghinis. So the thing with front wheel drive, my first car was a front wheel drive car. Correct. It was a Nissan Maxima, mm-hmm. and I thought it was the fastest thing in the world. And I thought the same way. I had the same mantra that it doesn't matter if it's front wheel drive. It can take down probably a C4 Corvette at that point, or like a C5 automatic maybe. If the guy doesn't realize that we're racing right away,
yeah.
That's where we're going. But
so okay. There are front wheel drive cars just as there are rear wheel drive cars that are built for performance.
Right.
For instance, Focus ST.
Yes.
Mini Cooper S. Mm-hmm. Those cars are front wheel drive, but they're awesome. You drove the Mini.
Yeah.
You liked it.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. It's a fun car.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's a fun car. However, that car, I think that chassis would be better if it was rear wheel drive or all wheel drive.
I disagree.
Here's a case in point: Ford Focus ST or Ford Focus RS. RS is arguably better. than the ST. It's the same basic chassis, just all-wheel drive. Obviously, there's differences and stuff, but it's the same basic experience. But you have all-wheel drive. You have stuff like drift mode. You have rear-wheel drive bias. You have all this stuff, and it's just a more fun car. Now, there's going to be a lot of people in the comments that are like, oh, actually, the Fiesta ST is a front-wheel drive and is better than the RS because Matt Ferris said so. Yes, that's true. Okay, and I have driven both, and they're great cars. However, yeah, but still, that's my argument.
My argument for the Mini Cooper, at least being rear-wheel drive, is that the wheelbase is too short and it would be too snappy. I think that would be a poor choice to make a car or make a rear-wheel drive car out of.
Yet you're the one saying that a smart car with a Hayabusa swap is a good idea.
Only for burnouts. I never said it would be a high-performance machine.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm just saying
Well, what happens if you want a mini just for burnouts?
Then, okay, sure.
Okay. So the Project Binky guys, the Bad Obsession Motorsports, they're making an all-wheel drive Mini.
Which I think is crazy, and I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea. But that car wouldn't be better if it was front-wheel drive because it was front-wheel drive from the beginning.
Well, if you put more horsepower into it, sure.
Well, I think the horsepower doesn't really matter. It's just...
I think it does.
It's the platform itself.
In my opinion, front-wheel drive cars are better in the low horsepower range than rear-wheel drive cars.
In what? Well...
Because if you're in a low horsepower front-wheel drive car versus a low horsepower rear-wheel drive car...
Right.
You can drive at the limit more often in the front-wheel drive car. I'm sure you've heard James May's rant on low-powered
Yeah, but
cars.
okay. So James May has a Fiat Panda or something.
Yeah.
And it has like no horsepower. Yeah, no, I get that. However, the limit of a front wheel drive car is understeer, and the limit of a rear wheel drive car traditionally. I know that there are front wheel drive cars that oversteer.
That's one of them.
I get that. I get it. Well, I mean, put crappy tires on that car. Any car will oversteer. But I understand that. For the lion's share of front-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive cars, one will understeer, one will oversteer. Traditionally, a lot of car manufacturers, they engineer in understeer because it's way more predictable. And basically, all you have to do, you can still brake and you can do all this stuff, and like you're not spinning around and going into the opposing lane and killing yourself in a bus full of orphans. So
wow, that got dark.
It did. But as far as feel, there's a lot more push with front wheel drive, and it's always the car is good in spite of its shortcomings in the drivetrain department. Now, that's my kind of devil's advocate there. Okay, this is me being for realsies. I think. I actually do like front-wheel drive. I like the compactness. I like the fact that they have done a lot with the platform. It's a lot like the Porsche 911. Porsche 911 has every Porsche 911 has the engine in the wrong place. It's just clearly in the wrong place.
But they've been doing it for long enough that they've been figuring it out more and more over the 70 years.
So Porsche is kind of like a Michael Bay movie in which like the writers just wrote themselves into a corner. And it's like, I guess Optimus Prime died again. Okay,
more explosions, curse words, and exterior shots of the Pentagon.
That's right. Yeah, America. And this is what Porsche did. So Porsche, they had a rear engine car, not a mid engine or anything like that. Rear engine,
past the rear axle,
and the early ones were very past.
Yep.
and then they acted like pendulums and stuff, and people got
dead.
People got dead. People.
James
deaded.
Dean, ripping pepperoni, my guy.
He's watching this podcast.
The actor who was killed in the.
Okay. Well, if the other James Dean,
Are you talking about?
Anyway, okay. Anyway,
which now James Dean are you talking about? The one that
I was
or the one that does the adult movies.
Well, first of all, I didn't know that there was that many.
Yeah, there's a lot of James Dean.
There are. There's also the guy who makes the sauce. No, it's Jimmy Dean.
Yeah.
Okay. But
that's different kind of sausage.
At some point. At some point, he has to grow up and become James. Okay,
That's the day
James
Jimmy became James.
James is my father. My name is Jimmy. So the Porsche 911, despite its wrong-headedness or wrong-buttedness with its engine, they did a lot to mitigate that. So they actually brought in the 997, 996, 997, and 991, and now 992, they brought the engine a little more mid. Like,
Just real quick, if anyone's watching in Germany, you just said no a whole lot.
No. 9999999.
Sorry. Anyway, continue.
Yes. There's a meme in there somewhere. So they brought that engine forward, and that helped everything. And what killed them is that, well, I mean, what kills me about this whole thing is that they have a Porsche Boxster and a Porsche Cayman, and that is clearly a better platform. It's just clearly better than the 911, but they can't do that because if they said, oh, we're just going to make everything on this platform now and you're going to get a better car. But no, because we're sticking to our guns. And I think that with front wheel drive, a lot of people are like that. And it's a lot like the, PlayStation N64. Like, I have this and I can't afford the competition, so this is the hill I'm going to die on. And front wheel drive is pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a 92 Civic, and instead of, going to a 05 TSX, I'm actually just going to do a K-swap, and I'm going to put 350 horsepower with my $500 eBay turbo kit, and I'm going to have no traction, but I'm going to say that front-wheel drive is just as good as rear-wheel drive. Meanwhile, they might not have the experience of rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive to have that kind of comparison.
I think to get true performance out of a front-wheel drive car, a lot more has to be done, and probably a lot more money needs to be spent.
Right.
But that's... I don't know. I still think front wheel drive is great. Sure, it has its shortcomings. So does rear wheel drive. So does all wheel drive. Nothing's perfect.
Rear wheel drive is perfect.
No, it's not.
Rear wheel drive is perfect.
You're wrong. But
what's bad about rear wheel drive?
Oversteer.
That's not bad. That's good. Oversteer is good.
Sure. Yeah. You spin out and end up facing the wrong way. That's great.
I have a Viper. I will.
You gonna die.
I will know. Yeah. Okay.
Here's my question to you.
Okay.
This is not an if, it's a when. When are you going to join the Hot Hatch Society? I think that you need one in your life.
So, I might do it a little sooner than you think.
That's good.
So,
are you also going to get a Focus ST?
I might. No. I'm not. Just because it's a little too nice of a car for me. Okay. So I'll have you know. It's a little too. It's a little out of my budget, okay. But I have. I spent all my money on the cars. I'm broke. So I have been talking with a guy. Actually, his name is Robert Dunn. You guys might know him on YouTube. He has a YouTube channel called Aging Wheels, and Aging Wheels is a really good, sort of Doug DeMuro-esque channel where he talks about different like quirks and stuff of cars, but the cars are very, very quirky themselves. So he owns a Trabant and a Wigo, which is like a smart electric Chinese knockoff, and he also owns a Smart, and he also owns like some other cars. So we've been talking, and he's actually going to drive the Ferrari down. Well, not drive it, trailer it down. He's gonna
the Fahrenheit 355.
Yeah, the Fahrenheit 355, the Ferrari, right? He's gonna drive that thing down. Because he's in Missouri, and he's gonna bring it down here, and all I have to do is basically pay for gas, and we'll hang out and do stuff. He might even do the podcast. It's fine. So he let me know that there's a guy in Ohio that has like 100 cars that he's selling. Like a guy has. It's one of these like hoarder types or what, but he's just selling a bunch of cars.
Nice.
He's selling 2 Yugo GVs for $2,000.
No, I want Hot Hatch.
So that's a hatchback.
Hot Hatch.
It's front wheel drive. I spent more time than I'm willing to admit looking up dimensions of a Yugo GV and seeing if I could do a K-swap in it.
Oh man,
dude, how awesome would that be?
Yeah. Okay.
A Yugo with a K-swap.
Okay. All right.
But oddly enough, there weren't any Yugo K-swaps on Google image search, but there were Yugo like small block Chevy rear-wheel drive swaps. And people just gut these things out, and they have like these massive rear tires. That's not what I'm looking for.
No.
What I want is something that still looks relatively crappy, but it has like a new power plant.
Can we go like full JDM Hot Boy with this thing?
I mean, we'll see. I haven't bought anything yet. I haven't. I just gave him an offer.
Do the cars run as is?
So the cars haven't run in 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they're Yugos. There's not a lot to go wrong. There's actually everything can go wrong.
Yeah.
But there's still not a lot there. Even when stuff goes wrong, it's relative. This is made for Yugoslavian farmers to fix. Okay, I think we're fine here. And I also have a little bit of experience with the Yugo because I bought one from Mike Balaban of Jalopnik.
Right.
I bought about 91 Yugo GV.
And they also have what's his name, Austin.
And Austin, yeah. And I drove Austin's. I believe he has an 87 or 88.
Okay.
And that one was a 1.1 carbureted. So I have a little bit of experience with Yugos. I've driven them. I've worked on them a little bit. I've had it on the lift. I looked underneath. They're very simple cars.
Oh, yeah.
Just getting the parts is a little bit of a pain. Yeah.
Do you happen to know the bolt pattern of the Yugo? The lug pattern.
2x50. I don't know. it's a single bolt, but it's offset.
Oh boy.
There's just a bunch of dowels, and how much glue you got, really? Yeah. Whoa.
If it's 4x100,
it might be 4x100.
if it could be 4x98.
Actually, no. You know what? It's not 4x100 because if it were, Balaban would have gotten some wheels. He has some wheels on it now, aftermarket ones. Because no one makes tires for that car. They're super small. The
Right.
13s.
Yeah.
And they're like 175 or something.
Kumo still does. When I had my RX-7, I had 13-inch wheels. They were $35 each, brand new.
They're maybe, but I mean, he would have found them. They're a really, really like obscure size. But so he got some wheels and tires from another car, and they fit. They might be 4x100. You guys could let me know in the comments. I don't know.
Well, if they are 4x100, that's the same size as the wheels on the Mini.
Well, that's the same size as the wheels on a lot of cars.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
We would already have wheels and tires to throw on there.
I'm not doing that to that. Yeah, those wheels and tires are worth way more than that car. I don't want to do that. No. See, what I'd like is to have the car. I always wanted like an OEM plus, like that. That's when I was a kid. When I was a boy, I wanted to have the craziest, modified, sort of like a Salomon thing.
Sure.
Like a Brian Salomon's Aventador with his crazy Tron, and
He's got an Urus as well.
He got an Urus, and I think he got the SVJ or whatever. So that's what I wanted when I was a kid. But then I grew up, right? And then I wanted something that was not necessarily flashy, but tasteful. That's why
Just a little bit different.
A little bit different. It just has. It's like OEM, but like what would happen if there were a division of the factory, like a Skunk Works type thing, and they worked on this car and they made it as good as possible, but using kind of like the basic architecture. What would that look like? And that's what sort of I'd like to do. With a Yugo, it'd be like it's real. Like a K swap would be outside the box. This is obviously not way above the scope.
In Yugo Skunk Works, we use black paint and white stripes to make car look like it's wearing Adidas tracksuit.
In Yugo Skunk Works, we use real skunk. Yes. So
we use yak hair on seats to simulate a bushy chest hair coming out from Adidas tracksuit, and the steering wheel made to look like gold chain.
Oh boy!
Persian rug for floor mat, and headliner and seats, all Persian rug. It's finest quality.
Okay, actually, I mean that would actually be very expensive. Everything in that car is made of plastic, and it's just horrible. One thing I'm concerned about with that car is safety, but to get back to your original point,
right.
The hot hatch. When are we?
Yes.
When am I going to join the hot hatch?
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, at some point, I really like I drove the RS, Focus RS. I really like it.
Yes.
But it's not front wheel drive, so it's not like what you're talking about.
I'd still a hot hatch.
Sure.
But I think that, again, that car's too nice.
Would an STI, would that like hatchback one, would that count?
I consider that to be a hot hatch. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think I get that though.
Yeah, they're too hard to work on.
I don't really like it. I don't really like the way they look at it. They look kind of crappy. So
What about like an older like Golf GTI?
no,
No?
I'm not. No, I'm not a Volkswagen guy. I've had 2 Volkswagen Jetta VR6s, and I hated them.
Volvo
Hated.
C30?
Maybe.
5-cylinder?
Which one is the Polestar one? So I drove the S60 Polestar, and that was really good. And I believe the C30 Polestar has.
Yeah, absolutely. Just for the color. The color alone.
So I'm going to show you guys what that sort of looks like.
If you found a C30 Polestar, I would steal it.
I'd let you borrow it.
Okay, that works.
I would take that car from you.
I would own it. It is mine now.
Yeah. So here is the Polestar.
Oh my gosh, just a gorgeous machine.
Yeah, it's not.
I believe this is all-wheel drive. I'm almost positive, and it's a Turbo 5, right?
This might be a Turbo 6. If it's the same thing as an S60, it's an inline 6, and it's a very, very long engine. But yeah, take a look at that. I love this blue. The S60 that I drove was the same blue, and
It's a Polestar specific color.
yeah.
And now Polestar has branched off into basically their own brand, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah, right. And I would definitely get one of these. I mean, they're expensive though. I wouldn't.
Again, too nice.
Yeah, a little too nice. I mean, if a Ford Focus ST is a bridge too far, then this is definitely a little too much. But that would definitely be a contender. I mean, I probably would get something like a. You know what I like? Acura RSX Type S. That's what I like.
Really wouldn't consider that a hot hatch, though. It's
No.
it's more of a coupe. It's more of a coupe.
Okay, all right. What about? Well, I had a EP3 Civic, and that wasn't very.
They're fun. They're fun. They're not fast. They're not turbo. I don't.
You could make them turbo, but they're still not.
It's a lot of work.
Great. Mine. I had. I swapped to a 6-speed, an RSX 6-speed, which really livened it up, but it's still like that engine made like 160 horsepower.
Yeah.
Not exactly the best.
No.
That VTEC didn't hit just right, you know.
So Volkswagen's out of the question.
Yeah.
STs are too nice. What about a Fiesta ST?
No, you know what? That I would get.
Those
A Fiesta ST, I would definitely do that.
and you can get those for pretty cheap.
what's pretty cheap.
I mean, I've seen them brand new for like 17.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So used market, maybe, I don't know,
10-ish.
10-ish.
Which is the same time that Sean Connery gets to Wimbledon. 10-ish.
10-ish.
Tennis. Okay, anyway.
Okay.
And the aftermarket for the Fiesta ST is just as big as the Focus
So
ST
I
aftermarket.
drove Chris Hayes' Fiesta ST when I was out in LA around the Canyon roads, and that car, like, it's very capable. It was crazy good.
It's hilariously fun.
It's real, and it was quick. I mean, the engine is really, really small.
Yep, 1.6.
I'll show you guys what that looks like, and if you guys are listening in, then
Rippin' pepperoni, or just Google it on your phone.
Yeah, Google it on your phone. Hopefully, you're not driving. Sorry about that. So, but yeah, we're gonna try to describe it as best we can. So, this is what it looks like. The Fiesta ST is a good-looking car.
It really is. It really is.
I think they're discontinuing it for either 19 or 20.
I think 18 is the last year they're making it.
So you can still get it on Ford website, but not under the Fiesta. You have to go under Ford Performance.
Right.
So yeah, it's a good looking car. I think it's just the right amount of aggressive. Mm-hmm. Would you want to get the 4-door or 2-door?
Well, over here we only get the 4-door.
Oh, okay. All right.
In ST or non-ST, I don't think we get 2-door at all.
All right. Okay.
So
the 2-door looks kind of cool.
I love the 2-door. It looks awesome.
Yeah, 2-door
like that is a true hot hatch. Oh my god, that's so cool.
It does have a very economy look about it. If you look at just the top half.
Oh yeah.
Just the top half is like, whoa, that's super economy, and then the bottom half is like, I'm here to party. So okay, that's not bad. I wonder what they're going for. I think if you're saying like 17 and under, I think that's a really good value. And Oh, is that guy rallying it? Kicking up dust in a Fiesta. Oh, there we go. That's
Nice.
That's like a rally cross.
Nice.
Awesome. Okay, so yeah, definitely. I think I can probably do that. It's just never been something that I've really wanted to do all that much. Getting a front wheel drive car, but maybe we can get something.
What's cool about that is with the Fiesta, you could basically just remove the rear seats, and it'd be your fuel efficient, fun, sporty, basically small cargo vehicle instead of having to take your truck every time. I know you love driving your truck, and I love driving your truck too. But
but I could put a ST in the back of my truck.
yeah.
That's like
Yeah, you could probably put 2 STs in the back of your truck.
yeah. put one in the cab and one in the truck.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So I think that covers it. I'd get a Fiesta ST, and you would stay with your Ford Focus, and then we'd race, and then you'd lose horribly and cry, and that's that. Okay. So
Okay.
I asked I asked some questions on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, and you guys. I didn't ask any questions. You guys asked questions. What am I like? What's in this coffee that I'm not?
It starts with K and ends with Alua.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say ends in O'Kane. Okay.
That starts with a C.
I know, but it's anyway. So Leon Newer says, how much money did you pay for your Lambo and fixing it, plus all the other costs? So I'm not gonna talk about that right now because I don't have all that stuff in front of me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good talk.
Yep.
Thanks for watching.
See you guys. All right. No, I am doing a really big accounting of everything after I get everything done, and hopefully that should be coming up in the next week or so, because this is like really like the last seconds of this build, and then later on I'll do stuff like making more power and kind of phase 2 of the Lambo build. But right now we're finishing up with phase 1, and then we want to get on to the Supra. But I will get to that.
When are we detailing the interior of that car?
Before the reveal.
Okay.
The reveal is just going to be like, I'll probably just go to Ace Cafe and stuff. And I think there's going to be a reveal before the subscriber reveal. So we'll have one, there, and then we'll do a thing for the subscribers. Can you do me a favor? Can you go on my Instagram, because my phone just died?
Nice.
So somebody else just asked, I'm just going from memory, my phone died. Somebody else asked, when am I going to do another collaboration with BS for Build? And we do a sort of build challenge, a tandem build or somewhere thereabouts every year. And this year we actually already did it, but next year we might do it around January, February. And I've been talking with Chris, and apparently his girlfriend is really, really into Disney World. So he is taking her to Disney World, and I am pretty close to Disney World. So we're going to do a build. And since I have a shop, we can definitely do something. So we were talking about maybe doing like a rat rod themed build.
Nice.
With like cars that aren't supposed to be. Yeah. So I was thinking like a Toyota Previa rat rod type thing, or just get like a weird like K car for like,
Use one of the Yugos.
No. I want something that can actually like drive though.
Lexus ES 300.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. But just something like real cheap, but like interesting, and not necessarily something that is.
By the way, that question was from Aid Bashar.
Okay. All right. Cool. So, what's our next question?
Fun stuff with cars. Wants to know when the roast your ride portion of the podcast will be posted.
Why are you looking at me?
Because we got to record that.
Yeah, we do. So that's going to be coming up at some point. It's really, we have a lot of other stuff that we're going to do. Number one is Art of the Flip. We're actually going to be filming that this week, since I just got the lights turned on today.
You have the power.
That sounded better in your head, didn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to go.
Okay. So, I just got the lights turned on in my shop this morning, which is really good because now we can have power in the shop.
This is a good question.
Okay.
From Paprika Prince. I'm planning on buying a 2011 BMW 335i for a daily and doing most of the maintenance and repairs myself. I have some experience wrenching, but not a whole lot. Is this a fine choice, or am I biting off more than I can chew?
Well, it all depends because they made a lot of different 335i's. They made one with the N54 engine, N55 engine. Usually, you want to get the older ones, but the automatics weren't really good. They weren't very responsive. But what you want to get is maybe like an N50. If you want to just keep it stock, maybe get an N55, like a later model with a DCT, which is like the flappy paddle thing, or just get a manual. Manuals are really good. They take to modification really well.
Yes,
but
they do.
You have to do the regular thing with direct injection cars, which is catch cans, and you have to make sure that they don't get oil, like carbon deposits in the intake valves, because that's apparently like a really big thing. You can get rid of all that with just a catch can, so that's fine.
That's something I'd like to do the ST in the near future. Is a
Yeah,
catch can.
yeah.
And do a walnut blasting of the intake valves to get all that carbon deposits out of there.
I got some cashews like in a.
Cashews, that's nuts.
So the 335i is really, it's a good value. Honestly, I think it's like this generation's Supra, because it's cheap. You can find them anywhere. You can get a 335i for less than 10.
Really?
I've seen them for like $6,000 to $8,000.
Wow.
Yeah, they're cheap. I mean, there's in different iterations and states of disrepair and whatever.
Yeah.
I would get a PPI. Just make sure that it's not like leaking from any like internal seals, or like some Vanos is going to blow up or whatever. But they are pretty good. They're pretty good, and as long as everything is sort of in a decent state, then you should be good to go. Just do your research. Go on Bimmer forums. Go on just do your research on that car, and you should be fine. Just have a little bit of money in case something does go wrong, because they tend to be a little expensive to work on.
Yep. Joe Shortbox wants to know, when will you Manuel swap the Benz?
Okay, so I will be putting Manuel in the Benz.
That's racist.
It's okay, because my last name is Hernandez.
That's not racist.
The manual swap in the Benz, I will try to do that either after the Lamborghini swap and before the Supra, or after the Supra and before the Bentley or Viper. So that's going to be like a half build type thing. Like, I'm going to take like a week off and just do that.
I'm telling you, I'm so excited for that.
I am very excited for that as well.
Because after driving it just the short distance from here to the shop,
it's a good car.
oh my gosh,
It's a good.
it's so good.
Dude, it's fun. It's a fun car, and it's, I really want that thing to be cleaned up and nice, and I'll sort out the suspension because there's like clunks and stuff. But that car is going to be real good.
That's gonna be fun.
Real good.
I don't think that you're gonna want to get rid of that car.
I'm not going to get rid of that car.
I thought you wanted to sell it to Jay Leno.
That's the only thing I would do. If I were to get rid of the car, it would have to go to like either Jay Leno or like a museum or something. It wouldn't be like put on Craigslist. I know what I have. It's one of one.
One of one.
Yeah. Except no substitutions. So that's it. We'll take one more question, and I think we're gonna end for today.
This is a really good question. S. Fisher 761. I usually look for cars that need some attention and work, but I often realize that by the time I add in the cost of the parts that it needs, not including labor, I'm already up to the cost of a well sorted out example. Do you have any advice on overcoming this?
No, dude. If
he says, in not including labor, if you do everything yourself, you'll save a lot of money.
Yeah, of course. But a lot of times when people see these like rebuilding projects and like, I got this thing for half off, it only needs like an engine and transmission and subframe and floors and paint job and frame and more frame. So all those costs add up. Like with the Lamborghini, it's not to the point where I'm like, I could have bought a decent one, like with 6-speed and twin turbos. Right. But I could have bought one that was in better shape, like probably like an E-Gear with more miles on it or something, with like a clean title. So that's a thing. But whether or not you want to do that versus do you want to learn more, about your car? Do you want to do you want to have that sense of accomplishment. If that's not important to you, or you just want something that's a little bit more reliable, then go and like spend a little bit more money and get a little nicer car. For me, I'm a little like I'm not the typical example.
Right.
So,
But here's the thing: if you're looking to do all this, and you know you're adding up the costs and everything, keep in mind that hobbies don't always have to make sense. Sometimes just do it.
yeah, but they shouldn't also be ruinously expensive.
Well, yeah, if it's ruinous, then yeah, don't do it. But I'm saying like
Cars tend to be like they can get ruinously expensive pretty quickly because cars are an expensive hobby.
yeah, very.
Yeah, it's like if you're doing Gundam models, it's not you're not going to get ruinously expensive real quick. Not like a car. Not like a car. Is it how much does a decent Gundam model cost?
Typically they're about
So a good master grade is anywhere from about 40 to 150, depending on the size of the model and number of accessories.
Right, a decent car is like between $5,000 and $10,000, and then you might need some work. So that's
but you can buy a whole bunch of models and you just kind of fall down a rabbit hole.
sure, yeah, but it's not like you can buy have $1,000 and you just buy 50 cars. Like that doesn't happen.
Yeah, okay, all right, fine.
So it can be just as long as it's not ruinously expensive. See, if it's a hobby, then do you?
Yeah,
Do you, boo boo?
just make sure you can pay your bills and put food on the table. Other than that.
Andrew, are you okay? Are you all right?
Andrew, are you okay? Are you okay, Andrew?
Okay, so I think we're going to end there, and next time we can talk about other stuff, and I can tell you why you're wrong, and you can tell me why I'm wrong.
And then they can tell us why we're both wrong.
Yeah, they always do that, and
do.
it doesn't matter what segment we're doing, though. They always say what's wrong about everybody.
In the comments, let us know front wheel drive good, front wheel drive bad, favorite breakfast food, name of your pet. Thanks for watching.
List of all childhood fears.
Thanks for tuning in.
You can see, you can talk to us at carguystalk@gmail.com. We read your emails. We love talking with you guys. And all our social links will be down below. But until next time, this is me, Tavarish, for Andrew Howell. Reminding you guys, we can say wrench every day, right? We could do the wrench every day.
Work on your car on a daily basis.
On a daily regimen.
Mechanics quotidianly. Is that a quotidian?
Quotidian?
It means every day.
I thought it was
Quotidian means like it's
no.
it's-
I know.
I'm just trying to figure out on a quotidian basis.